welcome back. You're with our special series Yuva here on CNN IBN. Youth and Swami Vivekananda have come together and we're looking at whether his teachings of striving to uphold some of the ancient values and still participating in a modern world are more prevalent and more important perhaps than ever before. Would that be true, Kiran, Bedi?
Values are forever. Can you say being truthful is outdated? Can you say being courageous is outdated? What makes one person fearless? And courage. That's what Swamiji stood for. Fearlessness. Courage. Because he grew with courage. He grew with fearlessness. He wasn't even afraid of facing a tiger. If you read some of his books, he even faced a tiger. And when he was facing a tiger, he thought that tiger must be hungry. He deserves to eat me. So basically even then he's fearless, but he's looking at the tiger must be hungry. But the tiger walks away. What makes the tiger walk away? I do not know, Swamiji, if it is true or false. But that's what we grew up reading. The key is courage and fearlessness. That's what Swamiji stood for, is who am I, not what am I. The whole focus of our school education is becoming, when am I becoming an engineer or a doctor or a UPSC examination or a journalist or a rich man or a wealthy. What am I going to be? Not who am I. Not what am I. Who am I to be, to do what I do with my living. And that requires courage of solid 12 years of schooling.
But why is it so difficult for the youth of today to embrace him wholeheartedly? Surely the fault is not just of the education system. Surely the fault is not just of how we are being brought up on a daily basis. But increasingly, I think when we speak to the youth, there is a culture of taking an easy way out.
You know, we try to put the current modern children into some mindset of the past. That's exactly precisely what Vivekananda broke. The thing was science, for example. Mostly the scientific method, experimental method will be frowned upon by the intuitive, contemplative Indian spirituality. But for him, there was no difference. He said that is also a search for truth, and then you can search for truth in a number of ways.
Fair enough. I think one of the thoughts that perhaps been kindled or perhaps is of a lot of emphasis to the youth is when he said that you can be nearer to heaven just by playing football than through the study of Gita.
I think it's an epitome of doing and chasing what you feel right. And I really think, to break it up into simplicity, the Western world, he felt, had a lot of good in it and a lot of sophistication in it, but Indian heritage, over the thousands of years, we almost own up the spiritual highness in this country, and he thinks this is the greatest value for the soul. And today's youth, to feel peaceful with themselves, there is some amount of spiritual inwards looking is very important, and Swami Vivekananda says that this country will shine through if it holds on to its values, and that is something a youth can rightly own up. It is cool to be spiritual. It's not just cool to be wearing the best of clothes and having all the luxuries. It is cool to be spiritual, I should say that.
No, that particular question that you asked, you are nearer to heaven by playing football. Now the point is, it was quite often wrongly understood, by trying to be a spiritual or trying to lead a great life. You give up all that which is your strength, your being, having good physical condition, etc. So that is where he said that. Build your physical strength also. Excel everywhere. Unless you have a very strong body, you cannot have a strong mind. You cannot absorb higher thoughts, higher values. A weakling cannot take to spiritual life. So in that sense, he said, even to pursue spirituality, you need a good body, you need strength.
I think we've already talked enough, but in a sense we've barely scratched the surface. I'm just going to quickly leave the floor open for quick audience questions.
I want to ask, how can we as youth put the teachings of Swami Vivekananda in our daily lives?
I think Swami Vivekananda is very categorical in what he says. He says the West and the East both have to work together to create a perfect world, and our strength and dimension is on towards spirituality and everything else. For the youth, his message is very clear in your daily life. He says, have faith in yourself, have faith in yourself, have belief in yourself. Very simple language. He puts it in very, very simple language. Have a goal, think about it, breathe it 24/7. And you will achieve it. You have to put all the efforts behind it, you will achieve it. And that's what is focus all about. And he very clearly puts focus, concentration is the word he uses. Concentration is everything. Anybody who can concentrate on one specific thing for long enough time will be able to achieve that thoroughly. This is enough lesson for us to achieve what you want.
You wanted to add?
I wanted to say, you are what you eat. You agree?
So don't eat less.
You are what you eat. You eat more, it shows. You eat less, it shows. You eat the wrong stuff, it shows. Because you bear the consequences of that. It becomes visible, and then you go to a doctor, get a medicine. The point is, you are what you read, you are what you see, you are what you hear, and what you are what you experience.
Okay, let me take one from there and I'll come back to you.
I would like to ask that today the youth is torn between two entirely different directions. On one hand, we have individualism, our ambitions, hopes and aspirations. We want to grow and prosper. And on the other hand, we have spiritualism and our old Indian philosophy. So could you please guide us on which path we should take, which can balance both the world?
You see, as the question she raised, on one hand we are so much bothered by our own individual progress of prosperity and career and all that. On the other hand, there are always some tags, some feelings towards a spiritual life or whatever it is. Here, Swamiji gives the answer. Supposing you try to reflect, know about your nature. Now, why do we aspire only for our own progress, our own prosperity? Beneath that is an inherent fear of insecurity. We want to have more, we want to have more. Even then we will feel we are insecure. On the other hand, even when you are young, you try to imbibe this idea, I am not limited. I have infinite potential, infinite capacity, infinite dimension. Now whatever you do, whatever progress, attempts at progress you try or make, all that will go to a larger benefit. You will achieve, but you will never be restricted to your own individual interests or individual security. So the fundamental secret or the real essence or the crux lies in understanding, at least intellectually to start with, the infinite dimension of your own personality. Then only whatever you attempt, you will always think of a larger context, a larger huge set of beneficiaries, infinite number of people. So you will find that when you start widening your horizon to a bigger and bigger dimension, automatically your goals will start also expanding. You will aspire for more, you will be an achiever also, because you are no longer worried about your own growth or your own prosperity or your own little small selfish interest that restricts you, makes you extremely afraid of everything. You are afraid of failure, you are insecure, all that will go away.
Professor, I'm going to give you the final word and then we're going to wrap up the show. Go ahead.
See, this book which I got, I just want to tell that there are a lot of young people who are already doing a small amount. This book which I got, from which I quoted, is from the Vivekananda Study Circle in IIT Madras. It is working more than 15-20 years, and a lot of young people keep doing it. Each one of you don't have to do anything more in your school. 5 people, 6 people, you do that, you will imbibe, and then on you will do. And just on that other one, in life everything is a contradiction, okay? Everything is a duality. Everything there is an opposite. And that will confront you in everything. I am a boy, I am a girl, I wish I was a boy, you will say. And then another time you will say, I wish I was a girl. This we will confront and go towards, keep on nudging it, go towards a larger goal. Then you get the greatest of the Advaita, the monism. That is what Swamiji stood for. So the contradictions will be transcended. So don't worry about contradictions now. You should have it. If you don't have it, I don't believe you. You are not truthful.
Okay, so don't worry about contradictions. Eat well, jog, meditate, and link your basic goal to a higher goal.
And then have a study circle.
I think we've got enough to imbibe and to think on for many, many hours ahead. I think on that note, we must thank this eminent panel who's joined us. Thank you very much. I think we've got lots to soak in and to think about perhaps for days. We'll wrap up this show here. Remember, it's Yuva. It doesn't finish with this show. Lots of people perhaps have been inspired here, but several leaders of India and across the world have been inspired by Vivekananda's teachings. In the second of this series, the man who in a sense put India on global stage. We'll come back with lots more. Thanks very much for joining us on this special series.